Khabib Nurmagomedov has just confirmed that he will be vacating his belt to the winner of Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. He recently did an interview. It was completely in Russian, but it has been translated. This is what Khabib had to say. Dana and I are in touch and did not discuss the moment with the vacant belt. This is because they want me to continue. This is clear. I have been in the league for 9 years and have not lost. I have a story, a big fan base. We will meet with Dana soon. We will discuss. I would not like there to be a possibility that I will return. So UFC President Dana White and Khabib have a meeting scheduled in Abu Dhabi that's coming up in the up and coming weeks. Supposedly they are going to be talking about Khabib's future. It looks like Dana White thinks he can convince Khabib to return back to the UFC for one more fight. But if you've been following Khabib on social media, you would know that it doesn't look like he seems very interested in making a return to the UFC. He recently just purchased his own MMA promotion, so he's making investments outside of being a fighter, which would tell me that he's getting ready for his retired life. Of course, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier is going down at UFC 257 on January the 23rd. It should be a very interesting night. You know Khabib will be sitting at home watching this fight go down. Do you think Khabib will ever make a return to the UFC? I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Drop a comment in the comment section down below. Okay, so moving on to our next topic. Wayy Zang just won the fight of the year. Of course, she fought Joanna Jędrzejczyk at UFC 248, and it was an absolute war. UFC 248 happened in March. It was the last event to feature fans change the world. It absolutely deserved to win the fight of the year. And this is what Wayy Zang had to say about winning the award. It was an honor to share the octagon with Joanna and have the battle that we did. I have seen the fight many times now, too many to count. Not just because I watched it myself, but because it has played over and over throughout the world. I'm happy that many people enjoyed the battle, and I look forward to returning to the octagon soon. I knew Joanna and I were in a very exciting battle, even before the actual fighting started. But as the fight progressed, it was very evident that this was an epic fight, because she brought out the best in me, which I believe I did to her as well. And I could not agree more. Seriously guys, if you have not watched this fight, definitely go check it out. It went all 5 rounds, and it's just a crazy fight. As of right now, we don't really know what's going on with Wayy Zang or Joanna Jędrzejczyk. It seems like after that fight, they went completely ghost. But I have heard some rumors of Wayy Zang versus Rose, so I think that would also be a very exciting fight. Of course, Rose already beat Joanna twice, so I think they would match up pretty well. But once again, congratulations to Wayy Zang. I think the award was definitely deserved. There was a lot of great fights this year, so it is hard to pick one of them, but I think that one definitely stands out. And not just for female fighters, for male fighters as well. I mean, they put on a show regardless of their gender. And that was also the last event where the UFC were able to sell out an arena. So I think a lot of people are going to be talking about this fight for a long time. Okay, so moving on to our last and final story. Before we get into that, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember you subscribe. Please remember you like the video as well. With that being said, let's hop into the last story. We are talking about Leon Edwards, Jorge Masvidal, Khamzat Chimaev. Let's get into it. So Khamzat Chimaev versus Leon Edwards. The fight was originally supposed to go down on December the 19th. Leon Edwards tested positive, so they had to reschedule the fight. I believe they rescheduled it for January the 20th, and that date has also been scrapped because Khamzat Chimaev just tested positive. So what that pretty much means is that event is left without a headliner. There is no main event. What is the UFC going to do with Leon Edwards? Are they going to reschedule this fight for the 3rd time, or are they going to look for another opponent? Leon Edwards went on Twitter and called out Jorge Masvidal. This is what he said. Where that bitch Jorge at? And then we had Kevin Holland, who looked like wanted to accept a fight between Leon Edwards. This is what he said on Twitter. Brett, let's not get ahead of ourselves. At Leon Edwards needs an opponent. Big Mouth is calling. So who knows what the UFC is going to do? I mean, do they reschedule? Do they find him a new opponent? It's coming up here in the next up and coming weeks. It's already the 30th as I'm recording this video. I believe they're fighting on January the 20th. So, I mean, you have a couple weeks to find an opponent. I mean, I think they could definitely scramble and get someone in there. I think Kevin Holland would be a great fight. I also think Jorge Masvidal would be a good fight. It's really all about, can the UFC pull it off? And if they can't pull it off, I'm sure they'll just reschedule it. They'll push it back a couple weeks. They'll wait for Khamzat Chimaev to recover, and we'll see if they can make it happen for the third time. I feel like I'm getting a taste of Tony Ferguson versus Khabib, where it's like they're trying to make it happen, something happens. They're trying to make it happen, something happens. So for the third time, hopefully third time is a charm, because I want to see this fight go down. I mean, Khamzat Chimaev is stepping up in competition massively by taking on Leon Edwards. Edwards is on an 8-fight win streak. Khamzat Chimaev is on a 3-fight win streak. So, I mean, of course, Leon Edwards' run is more impressive, but Khamzat Chimaev has a lot of momentum going into this fight. And that's what really makes this fight so interesting to me. They both have a lot of momentum once again. They're both on winning streaks. Someone's O's got to go, and I love fights like that. And just really quickly, I just want to add, because even though Khamzat Chimaev is 3-0, he had a very, very impressive 3-0 run. I mean, I think they're all knockouts. They're all TKOs or knockouts. Maybe one submission. There may have been one submission, but I mean, they're all highlight reels. Yeah, some people will go, 4-0, 5-0, but I mean, they'll go to decision. The fight wasn't really that exciting. No one really talks about it. Khamzat Chimaev, on the other hand, you're talking about an exciting fighter. Talking about he makes highlight reels. It's a little bit different. I see a lot of people kind of giving him some hate. Mostly people love him. A lot of people like Khamzat Chimaev, but I think people think he's overrated. I think he's the real deal. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he went in there and gave Leon Edwards, the hardest fight he's had in a while. I really would not be surprised. Even if he won it, I mean, I genuinely would not be surprised, because I think the kid's got it in him. I think he's probably going to be a future champ. He's a really young kid. I believe he's under 25 years old. He's hungry. He's got it, man. Whoever's in his division, man, you guys better get ready, because if he goes in there and starches Leon Edwards, I mean, what do you do with him? You give him a title shot, I guess. Leon Edwards is a top contender, 8-0. If he goes in there and starches him, Khamzat Chimaev, you're already talking about a title shot. He's only 4-0 in the UFC if he beats Leon Edwards, which, I mean, it's a big if. It's definitely a big, big if, because Leon Edwards is no joke. I mean, 8-0 is 8-0. That's very impressive. You cannot take that away from him by any means. Anyways, guys, that will do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, please remember you subscribe. Please remember you like the video. Also, check out our Facebook page. We post content on there daily. I will leave a link down in the description below, or you can search it manually. It's the MMA Connect, just like the YouTube channel. So definitely go check that out. And yeah, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. This is the MMA Connect. Peace out.
Got the sauce, bitch.